We're going to carry our decimal straight up, carry our 0 down. 4 can go into 10 2 times, and 4 can go into 24 6 times. So the area of our quarter circle is 28.26 centimeters squared. Amari is redecorating her room and wants to decorate her lamp with a string of beads. She will attach the beads along the circular bottom edge. So down here, the edge, the outer rim of her lampshade. The diameter is 18 centimeters. About how many centimeters long should Amari make the string of beads? Record your answer to the nearest whole number. Now, if I look back at the first section, I underlined along the circular bottom edge. Keyword, edge. The edge of something, especially a circle, would represent circumference. There's a section on your formula sheet that's over circumference, right here, right above the area. There are two types. You have 2 pi r and pi d. So I'm going to go ahead and write them both down, our options. 2 equals pi, or c equals 2 pi r, or c equals pi d. In this case, we are given a diameter of 18 centimeters. So we are going to use c equals pi d, where pi is 3.14. Plug in what I know into the formula, 3.14 times 18, and multiply. So I got 56.52, but it tells me to round to the nearest whole number. The number currently in the whole numbers place is 6. I'm going to underline it, look to the right. Is the one to the right 5 or more? If it is, we add one more. So in this case, it rounds to 57 centimeters. Make sure you look at what they want you to round to. It may say tenths, it may say whole, it may say hundredths. Make sure you are looking at that. Number 10. Angle ABD and angle CBD are supplementary angles, meaning they add up to 180 degrees. We want to know the value of x. So we can go ahead and label these. This can be angle 1, this can be angle 2. Together, angle 1 plus angle 2 should equal 180 degrees. 45 is the angle measurement for angle 1, and 3x is the measurement for angle 2. We have a two-step equation. The first thing we want to do is eliminate with our constant. So we're going to subtract by 45 on both sides first. And we get 135. Next step is to divide by 3 on both sides. And we get x equals 45. Mr. McGee is putting trim around the edge of a circular garden. So I can go ahead and draw my circular garden. If he's putting trim around the edge, that means it's going to be the outer part of the circle, which is going to be our circumference. The garden has a diameter of 14 feet. How much trim does he need to buy to the nearest tenth? So we're looking for circumference. Our circumference formulas are C equals 2 pi r or C equals pi d. In this case, we are given a diameter of 14 feet, so we're going to use this formula here. Pi equals 3.14, and our diameter is 14 feet. So all we have to do is multiply. And I get 43.96. But it tells me to round to the nearest tenth. The tenths place is where the 9 is. I'm going to underline it, look to the right. It's 5 or more, so that means I'm going to add one more to this 9. But this part's tricky. If I added one more to 9, it'd become 10. So that would change my 3 by 1 as well. So then it would be rounded to 44. It would be 44 feet. Drayton is drawing paper props for theater. Drayton draws the snow cone below and is trying to figure out how much area the snow cone takes up. What are the steps to finding the amount of space that the snow cone takes up? So right here it wants us to list the steps to finding the area of a composite figure, since this is a composite figure. Our first step is to identify and separate these simple shapes. So in this case, we have a semicircle and a triangle. Our second step is to calculate the area of each simple figure. And then step 3 would be add areas together to create total composite area. Now calculate the actual amount of space the snow cone takes up. So after we wrote down those steps, now we're actually going to put those steps to place. Well, we already identified that we have a semicircle and a triangle. So the next step is to calculate the area of each simple figure. Separate them, semicircle and triangle. The area of a semicircle is A equals pi r squared divided by 2. Now, if you look at our snow cone, pretend that pretend that the circle is completed. You are given a diameter. So this is your diameter. If your diameter is 6 centimeters, that means your radius is going to be 3 centimeters. And then pi is 3.14. Area equals 3.14 times 3 squared. And then we need to divide by 2. Next step is to do your squared part, 3 squared, which is, it's 9. Now we need to multiply 3.14 times 9. And you get 28.26, but we still need to divide by 2. When we do that, we will get 14.13 centimeters. So that's the area of our semicircle. Now we need to find the area of our triangle. The area of a triangle is A equals half base times height, where our base is 6 centimeters and our height is 10. So area equals half 6 times 10. Area equals half times 60, and half of 60 is 30. So the area of the triangle part is 30 centimeters. Next step is to find the total by adding them together. So we have 30 plus 14.13. Remember, if you are adding with decimals, you have to line up the decimals and add zeros in its place. Since 30 is a whole number, I added a decimal behind it and add 2 zeros behind it. Carry your decimal down and add as normal. So it takes up 44.13 centimeters. All right, and last but not least, a Ferris wheel rotates around. So if it's rotating around, Ferris wheels are shape of a circle, rotating around. Automatically, we know this is circumference. It rotates around 10 times during one ride. If the diameter is 20 feet, how many feet does the Ferris wheel rotate in one ride? So for starters, I need to find the circumference of how many times, the circumference of one time around. One time around. So we're given a diameter, we're going to use the formula C equals pi d. So then we have C equals 3.14 times our diameter of 20. Multiply those together. And I get C equals 62.8. But this is for one rotation. we are looking